I think I'm live. I apologize for the delay, and I'm delayed in more than one way. Welcome to Creation to Connection. My name is Diane Ellison Beyersdorfer, and I am the host here. I have to apologize. I'm almost 30 minutes late. I've been almost 30 minutes late all day. So once we start, we just kind of keep going that way. But there's always divine timing. So I'm here now. I have decks of cards with me today because I do believe that this show is all about connection. It's all about the different ways that we connect to each other energetically. And we have had, I'm just coming from a class that was 30 minutes late, which is why I'm 30 minutes late to the show. And it's all about, with them too, it's all about learning to connect to spirit, learning to connect more fully to your own higher self. So I feel like that's where we need to go today. We often see people channeling, and we think, okay, they've got an ability that we don't have. What we don't have any idea how they're doing it. And so, for me, Voice of the Spirit, which is a class that I've been teaching now for a couple of months, is all about learning how to make that shift from the egoic self, to the higher self, and how to plug yourself in, and maybe even how to stay plugged in. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up you guys on the in the chat room and see who's got something for me, who would like to talk today about connections, about connectivity. I do have a guest next week. Jennifer is going to come on with me next week, next Thursday evening. So next week we're going to start a pattern of inviting people. It's not going to just be me. I enjoy being in the group. Last week, um, Carol Carol Ann tried to join me, and I cut out on her because my internet was being crazy, and it's being a little crazy again today. So I was just talking to her, and there's no way she's coming on again today. So you got just me, which is enough. It'll have to be enough today. We'll talk because I've got all of you to talk to. So let me share this for a second. If you would share it out, we can sit here and talk. If you would like a card, I'm not going to do a lot of cards. I'm going to try to be easy, but I do have cards because I want to show how we connect energetically. That's one way that um, I feel like it's a big tool for people as they're learning how each one of us has these cords, these connections to one another. I see it as like a golden cord, the healthy connections. And as we're connecting, because we're really all one being, right? So as we're connecting to each other, we kind of sometimes we need tools to kind of tune in a little better, to kind of fine tune us. So cards work that way. You can pull cards and um, try to get the messages through what you're seeing in the cards. And the way that it works for me, and I know everyone is a little different, all of our gifts are a little different. I definitely am do things my own way, been that way since I was a kid. Nobody's ever really been able to teach me anything. Everything that I've learned in life, I might have had a little help along the way, but most everything I had to self teach. I've always been the kind that teacher, I know I drove my teachers crazy in school. I've always had to do things my way. And I don't feel like that's all bad. Sometimes I can be a little stubborn, but mostly it's just that I believe that we're all completely unique and different. And we were created to do things our own way. And people relate to us differently by the way that we do things. So I have my way of doing things, and everyone else has their way, and there's no right way and no wrong way. So when I read cards for people, I go by the heart. I'm open heart. It started back really, I mean, it started when I was really young, but I didn't really figure out what it was until I lost Steve. And then I kind of got blasted wide open, and I'm pretty much wide open all the time now. um, so when I'm reading cards for people, someone says, "Yeah, I want a card." I'll start playing with the deck. Sometimes I actually have 3 or 4 decks, and I'll kind of just put my hands over the different decks until one of them feels right. Sometimes I use the same deck, and I'll just kind of keep playing with the cards until I get that heart connection. And I'll know when it's the right card for that person because my heart lights up. It's like, oh, okay, that's it. I just feel it in my heart. I know everybody has a different way. Some people feel something in their hands. Um, Honestly, I couldn't tell you how most people figured out, but that's how everything works for me. When I'm channeling, it comes seems to come through the heart. I'm a big heart chakra person, so um, so then the messages are the same way. I pull the cards and then I flip them over, and then it's like, okay, I just open up my heart and I let myself channel the messages from person's spirit spirit guide, from the angels, whoever decides they're going to come through and speak for that person and bring the message that that person may need that day. That's how it works for me. And I bring it all from the point of encouragement. It's all about non judgment and encouraging each person that gets a reading to be able to a little bit of their own truth, to kind of, we all kind of need someone on the outside to just say, hey, what about this? And that's where the cards come into play for me. It's like maybe you're not quite seeing that you already know your own answer. So I'm going to bring it out, whatever comes through the cards, and then you'll go ding, ding, ding. That's what I needed to hear. So that's how it's to me. I don't know if other people work the way I do. I have no idea. I only know how I do things. I don't pay a lot of attention to how other people do things because it's always been important for me to do it my way. Go figure. I think I was born this way. I know I was. Hi, Denise. Quarter quarter to 12. Wow. Wow, it's late. I love you too, John Stewart. Thank you for popping in. Dear Diane, may I have a card? Advise me the next steps in my journey. You may, Angel. Me, please. Need to find myself. Feel lost. Okay. Denise, you're first, and then we'll get one for Angel. I don't have a lot of time because I'm late, and I'm sorry. I'll try to stick around a little later. I haven't thought about coming up on my own page. I don't want to disrupt if they've got somebody come on at 5 o'clock. So if anybody wants to check the schedule in Enlightened Living and there's no block, I'll just keep on talking. Ooh, Denise, a card just popped right out, and it was a big heart connection on that one. Let's see if you got a couple more. Wowzers, you got a lot of energy moving. I will give you that. Your angels are very active, working to bring forth the message for you. It's like sometimes those angels come through so strong. They're like, yeah, I'm so glad she's here today. That's the sense that I get. They're so glad that you've come here today so you can receive. So I'm going to show you what you got. Oh, that's beautiful. I haven't even seen that card before. And I've been using this deck for a while. All right. So for you, let me see. Denise, this is for you. You need to find yourself. You need to learn to hook up. You need to learn to make that shift. Yourself is actually, it's not the ego that you're so used to. It's your higher self. And the way that you find that is by kind of plugging yourself into the other side. It's spending time alone. Where I'm getting a lot of solitude messages today. So let me see what you've got. So first off, you got this one is like the first step for everything when we're trying to find ourselves. We always want to start with self-love. We want to start with self, okay? We can get really distracted by other people, by everybody else. They all want a piece of us. They all have certain opinions, certain belief systems, and we can get really wrapped up, especially as empaths, and you feel very much like an empath to me, is that you're so busy trying to please everyone else, trying to take care of everyone else that you've gotten lost in the mix of it all. So self-love. Slow down. Look in the mirror. Who's looking back at you? Do you love that person that you're seeing in the mirror? Because that person that's in the mirror is very much in love with you. And so it's learning to look at yourself and say, I love you. I love you. Whatever. Don't don't keep looking at your faults. Don't keep trying to compare yourself to other people. You came into this physicalness and you look the way that you do because you're meant to reach out to certain people. Don't try to cut yourself down. Do nice things for yourself. Go get yourself a bouquet of flowers. Don't always wait for someone else to be kind to you or to romance you. You can do that for yourself. You can take yourself to the beach. You can take yourself to a movie. You can go walk quietly in the woods and go hug a tree. Take care of yourself. Salt bath. Light some candles and take a bath. A glass of wine if you drink a little bit, whatever you need to do. Have yourself something that you really enjoy. And I like hot tea. I'll make myself some nice chai tea and I'll sit in the bath with candles. I haven't done that in a while, but salt and lavender in the water, and it makes me just feel special. So they're telling you to take good care of you. You got the resistance card. Resistance looks like everything. And what it feels like is that you're holding on so tightly to life and to control that you aren't willing to release the way that we really, really move forward is to let go. It's not to hold on to, it's to let go. You have to open up those hands. You have to be willing to just let go of everything sometimes. Sometimes you got to just take the whole puzzle, pick it up, throw it, and then let the pieces fall where they're going to fall. Because that's where then you can go back in and only pick up the pieces of the puzzle that feel right to you. So don't hold on so tightly. Be willing to let go. It's always in the letting go. It's in surrender that we find ourselves, okay? You're not going to find yourself by holding on to ego. You're going to find yourself by letting go. And then you got the wisdom card, which is beautiful. So that's what you're coming into. Remember that wisdom and knowledge are very different. I look at her standing on these books. I'm like, there she's standing. She learned from all these books. That's her knowledge, but she's reaching higher. She's going up into higher self land. She's raising her vibration so that she can find true wisdom. The wisdom is where your answers are. It's not in the books, it's not in the knowledge, it's in remembering the truth of who you are. It's plugging yourself back into your higher self and allowing that beautiful wisdom to just flow. So, letting go, falling into the flow, stop resisting life. That resistance keeps all the good things away from you. You have to stop resisting. Powerful cards for you today, Denise. I've been talking too much. Deborah, did you want a card, Deborah? We got Angel S next. Let's get Angel's card. And then we will, if Deborah asks, we got 5 people here. John, if you ask anybody that asks, Angel is next, okay? You are in your next steps of your journey. So Angel would like guidance from her angels and from her guides on where the next step is on this beautiful journey we call life. Remember, it's so temporary. Finding joy in every moment, not looking towards the future, where's my next step, but just stepping. Just step faith that whatever way feels right to you, that's the right way. There's no right or wrong here. There's no judgment. You step in the way that your heart's good. What feels right? We so often just use our head, and they're trying to teach you to use your heart. That one's for you. Okay. So this resistance card is going to be the card of the day. I have a feeling I usually will have one card that no matter how well I shuffle, it'll pop up, and it is popping up again. So you did get you got 3 in a really interesting combination. Okay, Angel, you got extremes. So all kinds of extremes usually means that, to me, and I don't know what the author says, but an extreme just means that you're pushing yourself in one direction so hard that you don't understand that there may be other directions, that the water can flow through all different routes, and it doesn't necessarily have to go just one direction. So remember that, not to be so extreme in your belief system, not to be so extreme in what you're just definitely sure that this is the way that it's supposed to be, but let it softening up a little bit, because then you also got the resistance card, which means that you're actually holding yourself out of the flow. So resistance is like we were just talking about. It's like, can you let go? Can you let go? Look at that. It's really a very beautiful card. I want you to look closely at what she's holding on to. She's holding on, there's birds flying out. She's got all this beautiful nature. There's beautiful trees growing out between her fingers. So even though you're holding on tightly, you're still growing. You still got these beautiful trees growing out between your fingers. There's growth there. The idea is that how much more can it grow when you open that hand up? See how beautiful they are? Now imagine an open hand with all of that. Put your hand out like this and then just let it grow. It's not making it grow. It's letting it grow. There's a difference. Okay. That's what I'm seeing for you in that. And you got the unexpected again. And I think you may have gotten this card before. I'm not sure, but in unexpected, something beautiful is taking place. Something that maybe you're not expecting to happen. And yet it looks to me like I see a pair. I see a beautiful future. I see them moving into the light together. So however you want to interpret that card, that's going to be up to you. But it feels as if you start to move yourself out, don't push too hard. Don't try to control, releasing your resistance, letting things flow. The unexpected is going to come about for you, and it looks like a really nice outcome. Okay. I'm sorry that I'm not terribly specific. I don't tend to, it's more of an encouragement to you, and you know that, because the decisions that you make are all your own. Nobody's going to make those decisions for you, knowing that it's always going to be okay no matter what decision you make, okay? Oh, let's see. John, help everybody with unconditional love and healing. Yes, hello everyone with unconditional help everyone too. I send that same unconditional love and healing to you, John. Sorry I took so long to get here tonight. Vanessa. First time listening. Vanessa, would you like a card? You love hot tea too. So do I. I love hot tea. I don't. It has to be good hot tea. I like goody hot tea. I like teas that are yummy. I'm really big on chai with a little bit of creamer. I don't know that I'm a true. Um, I'm very Americanized when it comes to my tea. Let's just put it that way. I like goodies. Let's see. Hug trees, hug trees. Oh, I love hug trees. I love the energy of trees. I think I was a tree in a past life. So I get in with the trees and I just hug them. People think I'm really strange, and that's okay. It's okay to be strange. Yes. Vanessa just made a cup of tea. It's if I'd have had time, I was running late, I would be sitting here sipping on my hot tea while we're talking too. I would love it. So as soon as this is done, I'm going for that hot tea myself. John Stewart, so have I. Just made, so you got hot tea too. Beautiful. Beautiful card. Yes, please, Deborah, if you have time. Deborah. Let's see. So we're gonna do Deborah next. We did Denise. We did Angel. We'll grab Deborah. I don't. You guys need to tell me if you specifically would like one, or if you're just enjoying the messages as they come. Hi, Luz. I'm so glad you popped in. We missed you a little bit. We got to get you in that advanced class, and it's hard to work around your schedule. Okay, so this is for Deborah. Deborah Snowsill. Ooh, you got some good energy. Ooh, they almost flew at me, so I think if you throw it at me, that's definitely what they want. They're like, I'm throwing that card at you. Okay, let's see. We want a third one for Deborah. Definitely reaching into the heart. Remember what I said about the connections? I get that heart pull, and I know that's the message that they're trying to give you. So I love these cards for you, and they're really beautiful, Deborah. So all right, so you got the path. I love these cards. You got the path. Look at her standing there. Now it looks as if she's just thinking about it. She's got this portal, this beautiful. Look at how gorgeous it is. And she's standing down here thinking, should I? Do I want to go? Maybe I'll go. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just stand here and think about it for a while. So it feels like you've been in a holding pattern, maybe not quite sure that you're ready to move down a new path. You've been on your path. We're never off of our path. We always are on a path, but a new path, a new direction. So you're thinking about some kind of new direction. You got the path card. The path card usually means yes. If you're thinking about something new, the door is wide open. You can see it. It's beautiful on the other side. If you're willing, if you're going to be brave, you can step into it. You got acceptance, which goes right along with that, and it's one of my favorite cards, by the way. I love that energy going through the hands all the way up. Look at the birds flying out. Acceptance to me is always like, are you willing to accept the truth of who you are? Are you willing to accept the reality that you are so much more than you've been told? And if you're willing to really, really accept it and just tell the universe, bring it, then that's where you get into this beautiful new path of like you've never done before, something that really lights you up. It may not be like a big career move or anything. It may be just a new hobby. Like I'm going to do card readings for people, or I'm going to start reading palms, or I'm going to, whatever. Whatever it is that you're thinking that you'd like to do, that third eye is getting a lot of energy. I can feel it right now. So you're definitely moving into a time. You start working with yourself. You start talking to people about it. You start being more open with the idea that you are very, very gifted. And the more that you're open to it, the more that comes in. You got sovereignty as your third card, which is all about becoming the queen. It's all about allowing yourself to step into your own royal heritage, the beautiful, beautiful energy of being of royal blood, which is what we are. It's not stepping back and allowing everyone to make the decisions for you. It's not it's not being small, it's being the queen or the king, stepping into your sovereignty. So here we are with all those cards were beautiful and they all worked so perfectly together. Once you're willing to accept the truth and the abilities that you have, allowing yourself to move down a new path and taking on the energy of the queen. So that's beautiful, Deborah. Okay. Thank you, John. You may get a card, Luz. You're so welcome anytime. See what you got. I'm gonna stick with the same. You know what? As soon as my eyes landed on this deck, it said Luz. It had Luz written all over it. So this is what you're gonna get. I'm dropping them all over. That's okay. They can fall. They can fall where they want to fall because they're gonna pinpoint the ones. These cards feel like they're made for you. So we're gonna get them rolling. So these are, if I can remember what they're called, these are called the Sacred Earth Oracle. Sacred Earth Oracle, and they're truly beautiful cards. Whoops, I lost you. I gotta go back. I love how Facebook just suddenly puts me on a different page. It's like, yeah, you're done. You can't watch that show anymore. But I want to. I'm the boss. It's not time to get off yet, so I'm still allowed to be here. All right, guys. Let's see what we can do here. So this is for, hi, Erica. Let's see, coffee maker, just the brew, India's chai, yum, 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 yum. I lost some of your statements. When it went away, they came back and they're gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Luz a card. I can't see if anyone else is here has asked for a card. So if you have, please ask again. You couldn't find me, Carol. I think I'm in the right place. I'm sorry. I was on late, as you well know. Okay, so this is for Luz. We're gonna pull some cards for Luz. Nope, it wants that one too. Me, please, Gemma, of course. You're still here, darling. Yeah, I was there. I was on my computer, but my phone, I have to look at my statement or my, I have to look at what you guys are saying on my phone. So that's where I lost you. It disappeared. Filling out the cards. Hold on. Whew, big heart push on that one. So let's see what you got. Okay, Luz, these are for you. I love these cards. I love them. They're so beautiful. So we got context, and I want you to look closely at this card. It's really gorgeous. It brings out my, I don't know, like, do you ever watch the movie Brave? That's what that reminds me of. So look at that beautiful dragonfly and this gorgeous red hair. She's just a beautiful little child. And so whenever I see this card, I think, okay, let's look at the world differently. Let's look at the world differently. We're trained up to look at the world through these grown-up eyes. We've been told not to imagine. We've been told to be in reality and forget about playtime. And we're moms and we're busy and we got jobs and we forget that we're still children. You're still a child. We're all still children, just kind of stumbling around the earth. Truly, every single person that you see, no matter how old they are, they're still children. And everything we see is only because of our perception. So what if we change our perception? What if you look at that dragonfly and you choose not to see a dragonfly, you choose to see a dragon? Can you change the context? Can you change your perception? That's how I would see that. And oh, this is beautiful too. Magnetism. Wow, 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 wow. I wish I could paint like these. Do you see these, Carol Ann? Those colors, aren't they incredible? Magnetism. So magnetism is all about, you are a magnet in the world. Whatever energy you're putting out, you're bringing back. I know you well enough. You're putting out a beautiful energy. You're going out into the world. You're smiling. You're joyful. You're attracting back. What do magnets do? They attract. So as we give, as we bring forth this joy into the planet, we attract back that same kind of energy. So the more you're giving, the more loving you are, the more you receive that same energy back. So it's just reminding you to pay attention to what you're attracting. Okay. And then you've got this something, consistency. So consistency for you. Look at the beautiful sun. I love this card. Look at the birds around her hair. You're a very powerful creature, Luz. You're very, very powerful. You have abilities that are all right there, right at your fingertips. The way that we access those powers is consistent work. It is spending that time in meditation, spending that time practicing our gifts. So it's learning that you have the gifts, then it's learning to use those gifts and to step into them without being worried that you're going to mess up. I think many times we're very gifted and we we just think that we got to be as perfect as somebody else. And because we're so worried that we got to try to compare to somebody else or give ourselves a certain way, or people are going to judge us or whatever, we can hold ourselves back. So consistently using your abilities, find ways to um, maybe use them creatively. Like, can I feel the energy of that tree when I pass by it? When I go to the zoo with my kids, can I sense the energy of that elephant or that giraffe? Start expanding on your abilities and on your sensitivities by using them in different ways that are creative, like the child would. The child plays, the child gets into the sand, the child feels what the water is like on her toesies. She's doing things, finger painting, squishing dough between her hands, or whatever it is. But consistently feeding the energy of that inner child will allow you to open up your imagination, which will bring you to a higher level of attracting what you want out of life. What do kids do? They dream, daydream about what they want. I wanted a fairy tale life. I'm living a fairy tale life. I literally drew this to myself a couple of years ago. Please remember that you are always creating life for yourself. You're always creating reality. So, consistently working to hold that vibration up and to use those beautiful gifts that you've got to attract more beauty into your life. Does that make sense to you, Luz? Okay. That's right. We do have different gifts. That's why, so that if we were all just walking around doing exactly the same things, and even if we have the same gifts, we manifest them differently. No two of us is exactly alike, just like no two angels. We're just studying on that. Every angel, every spirit, every tree, every animal, every person, every spirit, we all have our own energetic footprint. And the energy is more important than the words. That's a big message for us today. Is the way you're connecting to people, it's more important how you're connecting energetically. You could sit there and talk and say the sweetest things in the world to somebody, but if your energy is poor and you're feeling angry, you're not feeling good, in whatever way, you're putting out energy that doesn't match your words. And I know for me, I'm such an empath that if somebody's energy is different than their words, my insides get all tied up in knots. I can't talk to them because they're not being authentic. So please know that the energy, we're all worried about, oh, did we say the right thing? Did we do that right? Okay, take it back. What energy did you put into it? Did you go into it with the right energy? Because the truth is, if you got a job interview or whatever you're going into, if you go into it with a positive, with a high vibration, it won't matter what you say. Those people are going to go, holy mama, I want this person working for me because she's got this beautiful energy. And I can, so I don't know who needed to hear that, but that's important. That was an important message for me today. Art. Maybe watercolor painting for you. I would love to do some watercolor painting. I've always wanted to do watercolor painting. I don't know why I haven't done it yet. I used to draw I would draw cartoons, and I was kind of a Xerox copier. I could copy cartoons perfectly. I would see it, I could draw it, but I haven't practiced a lot of art. So thank you, Angel, for reminding me. You're welcome, Luz. Yeah, these watercolor cards really speak to me, Angel, now that you say that. Gemma. I think Gemma said she wanted a card for sure. Finally got home. Good, Danette. So glad. Ruben, I've just been listening to your earlier about, message about the munchies and less sleep. Big hugs. Thank you, Ruben. Thank you. There's a big transition going on inside of me right now. So I appreciate all that love energy because I think we're all going through it. We're all going through a huge expansion, and it's really eating us alive, most of us. So we all need to be sharing out that love energy. Gemma would like a card. Linda Lou, yes, please. Okay. Vanessa. Some guidance. Okay, Gemma, I think was next. If I missed anybody, please let me know. If you said it before, Gemma, because I lost a lot of the comments. Let's keep the same deck for a little bit. It feels good. Getting a big. Gemma's getting a big heart push. I feel like whatever card I pull, they're going to give you the message you need. That's what's it's like. Now, it won't matter what card she gets, you're going to get the message. Okay. The angels are so, like, they're so there for us right now. Friction. Okay, Gemma. So friction. What is friction? Friction is mainly two things rubbing together. They're kind of irritating each other. So I don't know what's going on in your life right now. If there is kind of this these rough edges, remember that everyone is very, very reactive right now, and not everyone knows that they are in this ascension process. Most don't. I say most don't, and so we're more reactive. We're having it's so much easier to get somebody's goat right now. You know, like you don't even have to say that much, and they're like, "Pah." So remembering when those in those times of friction to maybe step back, take a pause for a minute, take a pause, let yourself be still, go back to that higher self, take a big breath. Okay, this what this person thinks, what they're saying really doesn't have that great an effect on me. Do I have to allow it to cause all this friction, or can I step back, take a breath, and realize that I'm bigger than this? Okay, and then you got shift, which is beautiful. We're all, and you too, this huge shift that you're in. So it can be very confusing to the ego. The ego doesn't want to let go. The ego wants you to remain the same as you've always been, and you can't. We're going through a big change. Our DNA is advancing. So please know that if you're having a difficult time and you're maybe having physical pain, emotional pain, you're depressed, you're really struggling, feeling very alone at times, that you're going through a big shift, and that we're really pulling out of the ego is having to let go of a lot of lower vibrational energies, and the ego is not liking that at all. The ego was born out of protection. The ego just wants to protect you, so it doesn't like to let go. So as it's trying to let go, there's a lot of resistance, and sometimes we're feeling that big crazy shift. We'll feel more anxiety and not sleep well, headaches, things like that. And so then you've got unity, which I love, because look at that. That's a beautiful thing for all of us. We have not seen a lot of unity in our planet for a while. There's not been a lot, but I do feel like this past 4 years, especially for those in the States, we've learned a lot. There's a lot more pulling together. As far as it's easy for us to just focus on the mainstream media will only try to show us the bad stories. Please know that there is a big movement underway, and that more and more light workers are coming together, and it's like this big hug around the planet. Look at that, how beautiful it is, this angelic energy that we're channeling in, coming through us into the planet, bringing about a time of unity, a time of, man, finally remembering that we're all connected and coming back together. So that's a powerful card. So whatever you're doing, whatever your job is to help people to remember who they really are, to start bringing that angelic love back in, it's time. It's time to step into it. Okay. We can change our DNA. It is changing. It is. Linda, Gemma, Erica, Danette, Linda Lou. Yes. Okay. And Vanessa. Me, please. Gemma, we got you. Okay. So I see the next one is Vanessa. Let's get you real quick. If you're happy with these cards, we'll stick with them. If you'd like to switch it back, but you're getting all the energy from this deck, so we're going to stick with it. Vanessa, these cards are for you. When your angels speak, I listen. My hands are just like lighting up right now. Let's see what you got. I don't know if you're having, my hands are like really achy in the joints right now. So I don't know if it's you or somebody else that's in the audience, but there's a lot of like joint pain. Feels like a lot of inflammation. So if somebody in the audience, whether it's you or someone else, if there's a lot of pain in the joints, in the back, or just not feeling quite right, feeling kind of spacey, things like turmeric tea, things like that. Turmeric is a great anti-inflammatory, but doing things, look it up, ask your doctors if you need to, or do natural anti-inflammatories, tea tree oil. You can rub that with some lotion on those places that ache too. Frankincense is a natural anti-inflammatory, but it feels like there's inflammation. Somebody here's got some inflammation going on. So if you're hurting, anti-inflammatories, but try to keep it natural, okay? Don't go for those chemicals if you can help it. Chemicals aren't the way the body wants to go. So this is Vanessa. You've got a time of renewal. These cards are so beautiful. I want you to take a closer look at that. I love these circles. I love this card. It's beautiful. And it almost looks as if she is very somber winter, as we're coming into winter. Our leaves start to fall and everything's quiet. So it's a be in a quiet, feel all kinds of stuff going on. We like freak out because we're like, oh wait, I've lost everything. What's going on? Please know that we change, a time of renewal. So as the earth goes through its cycles and we go through a resting phase and then we start to come back out the other side, like springtime, that's where you're coming to. So if it's been kind of stagnant, it's going to be okay. You have a strong influence. That card is gorgeous. You have to speak to other people, the ability to reach out to those that you love, to those that be that strong influencer on the planet. It's okay to stand up as long as you're working from love. Be that peacekeeper, be that peacemaker. Help to bring peace back to the planet. And you got space. I love space. Look at those cards together. You see how they just renewal, space. You're coming into a time of expansion. You know, it's like it would be a good thing for you right now to spend some time really stretching. Maybe if you're not doing yoga, beginner yoga, something where you're stretching and creating, if nothing else, just stretch, cross over your body, do exercises that cross from one side to the other. These circle eights, you know, it looks funny and yet it balances your energy. It will help you to feel better. Just do exercises that kind of, even if it's dance is great at balance, skipping, things like that, doing jumping jacks, whatever you do, even just reaching to the shoulder and crossing it over your body and kind of shaking it out, reaching it here and crossing over your body and shaking it out, creating space within so that big old spirit can continue to expand within you. Let's see, what else we got? Linda Lou. I claim it, joint pain. Who claimed it? I'm feeling it too right now. Julie Kiss, anti-inflammatories. It's like I start hitting myself with that turmeric tea or rubbed tea tree oil, things like that, because I can do the same thing. I think we're in a time of big change and the body has a hard time reacting. Drinking a lot of water, flushing yourself out, just taking really good care of yourself. Salt baths will help to take some of that inflammation out too. Epsom salts is excellent for helping with inflammation. Okay. And you can throw some tea tree oil in that salt bath. Let's see. Thank you for the confirmations. You're welcome, Ruben. I just completed my website eventually. And the key phrase is Shamsabu, your shift partner. I love that. I love that, Ruben. That's excellent. I can't, these days I want to get you back on one of these shows. I love talking with you. I know how difficult it is. I think I'm having connection issues. I'm sorry, you guys. Audio with you, but lost video. I'll just keep on talking. All right, so we're going to go to Linda Lou next. Good, Jim. I'm glad that resonated with you. I was trying to look. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anyone. Did not. Finally got home. Linda Lou is the next one. We just did Vanessa. I'm gonna have to get off of here soon. They're gonna run me off. Okay. Let's call in your guides. See what we can get for you. I know what the problem is, Julie. The cold weather setting in. I don't know about you guys, but cold weather makes me feel like a big old sore something. Get all kinds of inflammation in the winter. I hope it wants that one. Okay, Linda. Quickly, I want to speed these up so I can get a couple more before I have to go. So we got perception. Beautiful card. Perception. Remember, everybody has a different perception. Really important for us to remember that right now. There's so much unrest on the planet. We all see things through different eyes, okay? So if just because I see something and I'm like, wow, it's just as clear as anything, I don't know how anybody can think anything different. Somebody else can be standing right beside me and see it completely different. We're seeing through totally different eyes. So remembering that it's all in the perception, we can change perception. We don't have to be stuck. We can always change the way that we view the world, but we have to be made aware of it first. So what is it that you're perceiving that maybe you want to take a closer look at? Or are you in with people that you don't quite understand? And remembering that they are perceiving things differently. And it's not our job to change the way that other people view the world. It's only our job to just try to accept that they just can't see it. Sometimes we just agree to disagree and we move on. Ready but waiting. What is it that you're ready for? What is it that you've been waiting to do? Is there something that you're like, you've been asking for it for a long time, and yet you're still waiting for it to happen, and what they're trying to tell you is it's already there. Don't keep waiting. You've already got it. It's time to step in. And then you've got the revolution. Woo, that's a powerful card for you to get. Revolution. So revolution can mean a lot of things, but it feels to me when you put these three cards together that you're coming into a whole new way of doing things, your own way, your own personal way, Linda, and that you are ready to do it. They're giving you the green light, and that you're going to create something really powerful. I mean, that revolution card to me is just speaking of great power, of you starting something big, something new, and creating a revolution of love in your own circle. Okay? So know that it's time. Know that it's time. You are ready to do it. If you're still doubting yourself, then you got to start looking in the mirror and sweet talking because you're ready. Don't be afraid. Linda Lou, Linda Lou. I like your name. It's fun. I could write you a song. Okay, John. Maybe watercolor painting for you. We did that. You're welcome, Luz. I feel that we all have different gifts. We talked about that. You're right. Yes, Gemma, I know you're an empath. I can feel that big old heart. Yes, I get that about being an empath. We really feel their pain and ailments. It can be very draining. Yeah, it's important to remember. I've written a lot of times. It's like um, you oftentimes, when you start to feel really crummy, stop and say, wait, is this mine? Because if it's not your own, you don't have to carry it. Ask the angels to clear that energy away. When you go out into public, ask for a bubble of protection. Don't let negative energy in. Just let it bounce off. Only love in, only love out. You set the intention, and when you set your intention to be a certain thing, it always happens. So set your intention on only letting love through that bubble, okay? Very true. Ruben, very true, Di. We can sense bullshit a mile away lately. Enjoy the transcending process. All exactly. We're all transcending. Thank you for that, Ruben. We all are, and we can definitely pick up on the falsities, those people that aren't necessarily giving us their truth when they're speaking. So thank you for that, Ruben. We are changing DNA, aren't we, John? It's beautiful. And we can also change the way that we're wired. Like we're hardwired for certain things because that's just the way it's happened for so many years. By meditating, by getting to know ourselves better, by allowing our higher selves to kind of take the lead in things, by changing our verbiage. Changing our verbiage is really important. We actually begin to rewire the brain. And then those things that we've been stuck on for so long, they start to just let loose, and we're not held back by those unbeliefs or those silly things anymore. Let's see. That is you. Did not. You're gonna get some. You're gonna get some turmeric tea. What is it? I can't. For some reason, I can't think of the other name for it. Curcumin. Curcumin. I get curcumin capsules because I know they help, but you want to make sure you get really good ones if you do something like that, because sometimes if they're sourced from places that don't do a lot of inspections, you can end up getting ingredients that aren't so good for you. So be careful. Audio but lost video. That's okay. I think I came back. Picture pretty. I think I came back. I hope I came back. Yeah, I can see myself, so I think I'm all right. You're welcome for the card reading. I froze. I'm very sorry, Vanessa. We should do another one for you. If nobody else asks, we'll just see what else we get for you. I'm sorry that I froze like that. My sometimes my internet connection is not so great here in the mountains, especially when it's been raining. Angel, two times a day, right? For joint pain and joint, brain, and heart. I have certain supplements I like, but I don't like to play doctor in here. So I like to tell you the different options that maybe will work for you for different things, but I won't tell you how much. You have to do your own investigating on that. You are so welcome, Linda. Mary Ann, nice to see you. Do that all the time, so now I have to ask to be covered by a bubble. Very good, Luz. Um, where are we? Vanessa, I'm gonna pull a card for you real quick, okay? Because I know you missed part of your reading. Okay, surface. Vanessa, this is very different than the last one, so that's beautiful. How many times have you, I don't know if you're obsessed like I am, but I'm always looking at reflections. And the idea is, and this card really pulls me into that, that we often think that the world is just a certain way. You know, like everything's hard. We knock on the wood, we can drive a car, we can cross over a bridge, we can pet a dog, whatever. Everything's just like boom, solid. But the truth is everything is vibrating. Everything, even you. Everything is vibrating. And the way that it's been given to me is I often will see a beautiful reflection and I'm like, what's real? Is that thing that's hard right there real, or is it actually what I'm seeing in the reflection? And they're trying to get us to change the way that we view the world. That if you can view the world like a reflection, you can reach your hand into it and you can manipulate it. So you are more powerful than you think. So look under the surface. Don't always just look at what the black and white, but look under the surface. Swish that water around a little bit. See your own power. See how you can actually change your own existence by believing that you can. What's the line from the Mulan song? No, it's not. It's from the Moses song. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. It's one of my favorite lines. We were moving mountains. You've been moving mountains your whole life. Now what happens when you know that you can? Start start envisioning yourself moving those mountains. It's time. They are beautiful, aren't they, Danette? Covering yourself with a bubble. Very good. Yes, and always remember to close the healthy work or the healing work with the angels is important as protection. It's true. I often will get myself into trouble that way. I admit it. I like to get in and do healing work, and sometimes I would forget to shut it down. And I would be exhausted. I get the energy fluids because I was wide open to whoever I was working with. I didn't shut fully down. And so that energy just kept being drawn. And so when you're doing any kind of healing work, when you're working with the angels, it's important to treat it like a session. At the end of it, close yourself down. See yourself closing down so that you're not continuing that or severing any cords that are between you and whoever it is that you're working with, so that there's no constant energy drain, because you'll continue to feel it if you don't shut down. We all learn the hard way, I think. Good, I'm glad I'm back perfectly. um, you're welcome. You're very welcome, Angel. Okay. Yes, Danette, let's get you a card real quick, and then I'm going to get off here pretty soon. Pocahontas, it's if you believe, is it believe? It was in the movie about Moses, parting the Red Sea and all that, but there's a song in there. I'll have to post it later for you. But the line in it is, "We were moving mountains long before we knew we could." It's beautiful. I'm always forgetting to call. Good, John. I'm glad I'm not the only one. We do things the hard way, don't we? Then Archangel Michael comes in and says, "What is wrong with you? Why don't you remember to do this? Let me help you out." So I kind of go, okay, Archangel Michael, you are like my spirit guide. So from now on, from here on forth, when I forget to close down, would you please make sure? I'm very demanding. Please at least remind me. Okay, these are beautiful, Danette. These are for you. Move those mountains, Marianne. Manifesting, that's right. It's time to manifest. So we've got See, I can't surface again, which I love the surface card. We're not going to go back into that because it's the same message, is that things are not as stagnant. They're not as solid as you think that they are, that you can move things around and change things up a little bit. And it's okay for you to do that. You have the power here. So remember that you have the power to change things. It's by releasing, letting go, trying not to control too much, and then allowing spirit to really work for you, to say, this is what I want, and then step away from it. This is what I expect. This is what I love. I love this. You feel how the energy changes? I love this. I love to do this kind of work. I want to do more of this kind of work. I really, really enjoy it. It lights me up. Like just start doing that and letting source really hear, let your angels really hear what makes you happy so that they can bring forth exactly what it is that you're looking for. You got a stretch card. Don't stretch yourself too thin, okay? But there's different ways that this card, different things that this card means to me. Literally, we're in a big expansion right now. Please, 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 if you're hurting a lot, which you are, please get yourself down on a mat on the floor and stretch that back and stretch your hips and stretch in every which direction. Do some planks, whatever it is that you got to do. Please stretch and make space. Stretch your arms up as high as you can. Like just feel those muscles move and pull tight, because if we're think about trees in the forest, if they're not flexible, they're going to break. So we need to keep our flexibility. We need to keep our back strong. You will find more youthfulness if you start stretching and strengthening your back muscles. That's where all your youth lies. That's where your health lies, is in that strong back. Okay. So then you got expectation. Expectation. And I would say that this is one of the most powerful cards in the deck. What is it? What is it that you're expecting? What, when you envision your life and the dream, what is it that you're dreaming of? What is it that you really want to achieve in this lifetime? What are you expecting? And once you allow yourself to see that dream, do you expect to receive it, or do you think you're not good enough? So I would say with the expectation card, it's all about realizing your own power, realizing that whatever it is that you are asking for energetically, because that's how the universe listens to us, hears us, is through our energy. It's not through our words. We can talk as long as we want. We'll be blue in the face. What energy goes behind those words? Can you put the love energy behind what it is that you're looking for? Because if you can, that's how you're going to receive. So you put that love energy out, and then you expect to receive, taking down the resistance, no more pushing it away. Just expect that once you've asked, that you are receiving. Mary, do we have a Mary? Pocahontas. Who have I missed? Tell me quick, because I got to get off of here, you guys. They're going to come boot me. Shh, don't tell them I'm running late. Let's see, who did I miss? Anyone? Danette, we got you. Thank you for more sharing. You guys, I am gonna, unless I've missed someone, John, you didn't ask for a card, I don't think, but you've been listening to the messages, so I hope that you've still received. You're so good about giving also, that I appreciate your participation. I appreciate you. I think that Ruben has already taken off on me. Shamsabu, I think I say that right now. Am I getting better at it? But I thank you for joining me today. Give the angels permission to give you these gifts and learn to accept exactly. It's so difficult for us. We empaths, we like to be the givers. We don't like to be the receivers. You got to take those hands down sometimes. You got to be willing to just say, hey, yeah, I am ready and willing to receive. Put those hands out when you're meditating, ready and willing to receive whatever, wherever it wants to come from. Don't try to figure it out. Just be open to whatever way it wants to come to you. Someone may gift you the car that you're needing. Somebody may gift you cash, and they may gift you food, or they may gift you whatever way it comes to you. Be thankful, be grateful. Okay? That's how you receive. You are so welcome, Danette. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm sorry that I'm late. Maybe next week I can get myself together a little bit better. It's just been a very long day, very busy day. Thank you, John. I'm so glad that you managed to stay awake for the show tonight. I will see you guys. I'm not necessarily on the playground tomorrow. For the next 2 days, I'm off the playground, but I might pop in on my own page. So just kind of keep an eye out. Otherwise, I will be back on Sunday with the playground. It's church. The Reverend shows up every Sunday. Tomorrow is Friday. I don't know what we got going tomorrow, but if you check the EWN schedule, you'll find out. I know that there's a lot going on. Please take good care of yourselves. I will be back next week. Jennifer is going to be with me on Creation to Connection. Anyone else wants to join me here, I'd love to have you join me sometime. We'll be back on Monday with Silent Mystics, and I appreciate you guys so much. Take good care. I will see you again next week. Much, much love to you. Bye for now.